Today's 1064 dating. I'm here to lessons I learn. I'm learning how to support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Today, speak about really how to break free from surface judgments. How to break free from surface judgments. Yesterday, I shared that don't judge a book based on its cover. And of course, we discussed that it's very easy to judge. It's a shortcut to really make sure that we're able to make very, very fast decisions and make very fast judgments, but it doesn't serve us. It doesn't serve us. So really today I want to focus on really why is it important to really break free those surface judgments, because every single person has more than a surface. And life is much more complex. And today I really want to focus to understand as well, because I'm human. And of course, every single person, I think that it does that. Every single person base their decisions on surface level information. So today, well, I want to actually discuss what we need to really uh, do to really make sure that we're able to break free from surface judgments. So number one is building deeper relationships only available when you really develop that ability to break free from surface. Because of course, when you think about really there's three levels of conversation potentially. We can understand their surface, we can understand the middle, and then we can understand that really true essence of who they are. For example, like the best example is that you really lose weight. Lose weight is um that goal. So surface level is to lose weight. Second thing is that why they want to lose weight, and that could be that I want to have more energy, I have more confidence, and the most important deeper level is why having that energy is so important. So maybe they want to spend time with their family. Maybe they want to be the best role model, like, or who they will become because of the weight loss. So that means that in everything in life there is always surface. There is like there's some kind of middle ground, and of course that's really then the most important parts, the essence. And I think that a lot of times we really have conversations with our friends, with our family, with everyone around, with surface levels conversations. And we need to break free out and really start having conversation that really is meaningful, that we're able to connect, because we connect with the when you have conversation that is means a lot, not just surface level. So that means that first thing is that when we actually able to really break free from that surface and how are you doing? Oh, I'm great, fine. How about you? I'm fine as well. So this is just surface conversation, but when you're able to break through, and are you really fine? Why you fine? What's could hold you back from being fine? Like when we really go into deeper conversations, that is building massive relationships. And something a lot of times I think that we're not able to do that because we think that oh that person is not friendly, oh that person is not able to open up. A lot of times people not friendly are not open up because we're not able to really ask the right questions. As soon as we prejudge, I truly believe that people feel it when they are judged. You potentially could not say it, but if they feel it, they will not open up. So a lot of times, resistance from other people is created by us because we start to judge and we have those first impressions. Number two is that when we're really working on really break free from surface level judgments, we're able to really remove our personal biases. And one thing is that even myself, my grandpa is the person who really never smiles when he walks. He's always looks at he's always angry. Is the angriest person on earth. So when you walk, you don't want to speak to him because he seems so angry. But when you ask any kind of question, it changes. He smiles, he laughs, he opens up. He is so welcoming. But now, from the outside, he looks like the angriest man on earth. But inside, he's the happiest person. So that means that how people look at how people actually are sometimes is so much different. And again, that we need to have personal biases that we understand that okay, this even though that I assume that this person is angry, I assume that this person is not welcoming. But when I actually take action and really look into and confirm or not, because sometimes we're taking away that chance, that person to show up who they truly are because we just do not. We are not able to really get rid of all those assumptions. And those assumptions is probably really right. Now, of course, sometimes we say that, oh, I always right. Most I'm not, because we don't confirm that, and because if of course if we have a first impression and we didn't check, we believe that we were right, even though that's not. Number three is we need to really to foster emotional intimacy and vulnerability. So that being able to really get rid of all the judgments, all the surface judgments, and really being fully open. And really, when you're able to ask questions with curiosity, not a judgment, with curiosity, not a judgment. Because when you have that surface level judgment and you show up and you ask questions with the judgment in mind, they will never open up. And that means that it will never feel safe and will never feel vulnerable for you to really to share those. And of course, if they never open up, if never vulnerable, that means that it's almost impossible to strengthen relationships. And of course, we want to make sure that we create an environment wherever we are, with friends, with family, where they feel comfortable to be vulnerable, to feel ability to really have that emotional intimacy. And all emotional intimacy is only when you're able to really break free from surface level judgments. Because most of the time we do not know what's going on, for sure. Number four is improving self-perception and self-acceptance. So that means that even ourselves, sometimes we ourselves judge ourselves based on surface level information. We do not reflect enough. We don't build awareness enough about ourselves, and we have a belief that we are not enough. We believe that we are not capable of something, because sometimes we need just to say that I'm not able to do that yet. But if I will work, I will make things happen. I will learn the skills necessary to make things happen. Everything will change. So what kind of things you feel about yourself that is right, but you never looked into, because we need to understand that sometimes we need to spend really enough time to understand ourselves, to change ourselves. And we need to break free from certain judgments about ourselves as well. And again, when we're able to do that, and the most important part, we need to understand that when we really look into ourselves, our surface, we need to understand that surface is not supposed to be based on external validations, but based on our own internal validation, because we a lot of times put confidence based on external validations. So we won some kind of partnership, we lost something, so we attach that success or failure onto our identity. But that's not who we are. This is just the things that we achieved. That means that we need to work very hard to understand who we are. Number five is navigating conflict with greater understanding. And that means that rather than reacting angrily in someone else's actions, behavior, we're able to really start and asking, uh, rather than understanding that that's what they did, that's a service level. That means that you start asking deeper questions. Why might they do that? How am I supposed to put myself in other person's shoes and really being able to understand where they're coming from? What kind of thought process they have to make that happen? And that means that's when you're actually able to be much more compassionate and understand where they came from and why they start making those decisions, and what led them to make that behavior or that mistake. And sometimes you become so much more compassionate, and because of that, of course, that really improves relationships, because it's much easier to really navigate conflict when you start to see that from both perspectives. A lot of times conflicts are very hard to navigate because one person has one side, other person has different side, and both of them are not able to see eye to eye. But when both sides start to look, how you see and how do you see? So when you start looking at to be able to understand, because there's a big difference when a person says like, oh, I want you to understand me, and then when the other person is like, I want to understand you. Such a beautiful thing. So when you both of people try to not to really try to make understand other person them, but but when they try to understand other person, that's is totally different game. It's much easier to really um, have greater understanding and manage the conflict much faster. Number six is making more thoughtful decisions. That means, of course, it's very, very easy to make decisions based on surface level information. So, oh, this business are not making enough money, so I will never buy this kind of business. But when you start asking questions, okay, how much time do I need to invest? What are possibilities? What are the ceilings of the business? It might be that the starting point is very, very low, but there's no ceilings. And potentially with a compound effect and actually implementing the right tools, you can outperform a majority other business. Because some on the surface business looks great, when you actually look into all the things that you need to put into it, it doesn't look so attractive. So that means decision making regarding everything about business, about relationships, because at surface level, relationships could be great. But when you really looking into what do you need to do to really stay in relationships, it might be that in surface level, that person looks amazing, but in a deeper level, you understand that if I need to be with that person, I need to give up parts of me, but that doesn't make sense as well. So we need to understand, okay, what are the deeper level understanding, and of course, that moment you're able to make much better decisions. Number 7 is enhancing empathy and compassion. Empathy and compassion. That's just easy to understand. That means that when you look into even like a coworker who is not performing well, disengaged, and of course we can judge right away, say that oh, this person is lazy. He never makes things happen. He always disengaged. He always lazy. And we are able to have compassion and empathy and ask, what's going on with this person? What's going on in his life that he's acting this way? And we have the compassion, it's like, and you're able to say, not saying that, oh, you are a lazy piece of, but you're able to say, okay, what's going on in your life right now? And then they start to share about all the things that's going on in their life, and then you start to realize that you judged for no reason. There's so many things going on in that person's life that is very, very hard to really be productive, be focused, and they do all their best they can, but they just not able to be engaged because just all willpower is taken by his family situation, personal situation, or what financial situation, all those things. So being able to truly have that empathy and compassion is very, very important in life in general. Number 8 is strengthening self-reflection and personal growth. Personal growth. That means that again, we need to understand that when we feel dissatisfied with our life, that means a lot of times it's just we are looking into things in a more too surface level, in our goal surface level, in everything. Because when you actually want to achieve our goals, we need to attach some kind of emotions to that goals. Okay, I have emotion. This is exactly what I want. But when you look at your goal as well, so what is the deeper level of that goal? If I want to make more money, why I want to make more money? If I want to really buy a house, why I want to buy a house? Like, what will happen in my life? How my life will be different when I actually have a house? I will feel accomplished. Why it's important to feel accomplished? Like it's just you get going deeper and deeper and deeper understand yourself. So like when you have a service level goal, we do not make actions because it's not means enough to us. But when we actually understand ourselves, it allows us to understand that this is exactly what I want and this is exactly the reason why I want. It's much easier to grow ourselves because we have determination, persistence, consistency, everything in place to make things happen. And last, no, that's one that is still 9 is cultivating gratitude and appreciating the depth. And of course, it's very, very important um, to understand that sometimes when we really look into like what we're able to do in the evening, what we're able to do in our lives, what we're able to do the week, and really appreciating the things that small things that could potentially, when you look into really small things, could bring the most joy. Somebody spending time with your family in the evening, or going to family in the nature and spending that time in nature, somebody could look boring. But in a deeper meaning, you're establishing the relationships. You are recharging. There's so many great benefits coming from the on the surface level. Seems such a small thing, but in a bigger picture, it's such a meaningful thing that every single person do. I think that a lot of times we really don't cultivate gratitude or appreciation because we forget that some of the surface level things that we seem that's also very small things actually are crazy important things. And when you start appreciating those service level things that really brings, and sometimes we need to really reflect how important is those service level things. Because when you understand, of course, then you start to appreciate. Because I think sometimes you don't appreciate something until we lose that. And we lose that, now we understand how important those things were. Because when we have it, sometimes we don't appreciate. And last one, number 10, is living with more openness and wonder. And I love our word at wonder, because life is mystery. And what is that mystery? That means that when we go through life and other person, we potentially could have a judgment of that person because we have that picture, we have that cover. But the mystery part is that they have that cover, they have that mask. But that mask might be that is not who they are. That is not who they are. This is just a mask. So that person, they do not know who they are either. So that means that you are judging their mask that is fake mask. And this is a mystery. That means that other person, it might be don't know who they are as well. And we judge their fake mask. And of course, at that moment, we're able to really go and look at who they truly are. But the other person doesn't know who they are. It's just a mystery and wonder that we're able to really discover new passions, discover other person, discover everything. And it's still like, we will never understand fully, because the beauty part is that we always trying to understand ourselves. I don't know myself fully. I'm always working very hard to reflect, to understand, but I'm growing, I'm changing. I always need to reflect where my courage, where my confidence, where everything. So I always constantly growing, constantly changing, constantly reflecting, and I'm still trying to understand who I am. And I'm working to become the best version of me. But if I'm not able to understand who I am, how am I supposed to understand who other person is? How am I supposed to put judgment on them? That's why it's so important to really leave those surface behind and really try to go deep and understand. And sometimes having those conversations with other people helps other people to understand themselves as well. So I hope that you reflect as well, like, how often do you make surface level judgments on people, on yourself, on businesses, on jobs, on everything around us? Because on everything we're able to make surface level judgments. But we need to break free from that, because when you're actually able to go deeper, then you understand what really means things and what doesn't mean anything. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.